Here we are, I'm looking at the QQQ Invesco QQQ. This is the index fund for the NASDAQ top 100 stocks. So this is very representative of what's going on in the stock markets, more specifically technology stocks. So if we look at what's happened here over the last week, last week was the week of January the 29th. And what we can do is see here that last week, the Qs made another all-time high. The previous week, let me just switch this to week. So the previous week, the all-time high was $429.85. And then this past week, it went above that and made a new high of $430.24. And what I wanted to point out here is just a few things, because if we're looking ahead for the rest of February, let's just change this to the monthly chart. And what you can do is you can see, if we look at the month of January there at the bottom, you can see that in the month of January, and the difference between the high and the low of this candlestick, $429, almost $430 in the month of January, and a low of $395, so that's a difference of about $35. If we go back and look at December, you can see that the difference there between the high and the low is about $30. And then November, about $43, in October about $30, September close to $30, August again close to $30. So you can see that roughly speaking, the Qs move approximately about $30 between the high and the low for within a month. Now, if we look at a weekly chart here, changes to weekly, and if we look at this past week, the week of January the 29th, we can see the difference between the high and the low. High of 430.24, low 416.79, so it's a difference of roughly $14. The previous week, difference of about $9 to $10, and the previous week before that, difference of about $19. Before that, approximately $14. Before that, approximately $11. So roughly speaking, the weekly chart has a difference of about $10. So the range for the Qs for a week is roughly speaking about $10 between the high and the low. And as we looked at the monthly chart, the difference between the high and the low was roughly $30. If you look at a daily chart, I won't spend a lot of time on this, but an average day, it might move $3 to $4. Now, certainly there's days when it moves much more. Here's a day that's $3. Here's a day that's $5. Here's a day that is $3. Here is another day. This day is $6. So approximately $3 to $4 a day, and approximately $10 a week, and approximately $30 in a month. So if we look at this month of February, we can see that the difference right now is sitting at about $13. So if you're saying this is going to move approximately $30 for the month of February, then this is either going to go up to, if you add 30 on top of $417, that would be $447, $448. Right now, it closed Friday. You can see right here, after hours, it went down to $428. And if you go back here and see, and you say that it could potentially go up $30 from the low of 417.81. That would be $447.81. So that's $20 higher than where it sits currently. On the flip side, if you look at the high which it made this past week of 430.24, and you subtract 30 from that, that means that in the month of February, it could go down as far as $400. So, and one thing to consider is it did make a new all-time high this week. Quite often you will see that it likes to make, if it's trending upwards, you will see quite often that it will make a new high each week. And this past week it actually did, in spite of a very strong jobs report, that is showing that the labor market is still very strong, still very robust, which is going to make it harder for the Fed to cut rates. But with the Meta and Amazon having really strong earnings, that's what really was the catalyst for the new all-time high this week. But this coming up week, we have some other earnings that are coming, like Caterpillar, Eli Lilly, and Disney. Depending on what happens with those companies, there's always the chance that there could be a catalyst, for the market to fall back down. So I guess the point of this video is to just illustrate that in the month of February, there's a strong chance that the Qs could go all the way potentially to $447, and they could go as low as $400. Another possible scenario is it could reach a high of $435, and then it could turn around and retrace $30 from that point. So if it did go up to $435 and then fall $30 from that, it could reach a low of $405, and then therefore you have the monthly range of $30. So in that example, 405 up to 435, and that can happen pretty much anytime between now and the end of the month. And then, so if you are trading and you're looking for different types of opportunities, scalp trading and stuff like that, then certainly there is a range that you can be looking at daily, weekly, and monthly. If you're more of a swing trader and you're holding your positions for 3, 4, 5 days, then there certainly is a lot more potential trades that could be happening before now and the end of February. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and good luck.